There I am. There's my banner. Oh. There we go. We're ready to roll. Hi, everybody. You're thanking God that I'm here because I missed last week. I think I was away. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. This is my Wednesday night live stream. Thank you for being here. That was my teenage IT department going into her room to meet with her tutor online. First thing I always like is for you guys to tell me where you're watching from, because it's always exciting to see how many time zones and how many places around the world you are talking to me from. Hello, Kate from New York. How are you? Let me get my comments over here open on Facebook and other places, opening up the comments. Let me know where you're watching from and we'll get going. Hi, Yorba Linda. How are you? Good to see you here. Some locals. That's nice. I'm in Los Angeles, California. Tell me what city, state, or country you're watching from. Hi, Canada, Ontario, Ottawa, Toronto. Where you at? Peterborough. Hello, British Columbia. We've got a lot of Canucks here. Oh, you know I'm Canadian, right? Hello, Diamond Bar, another local. Hi, Joe from Atlanta. How are you? Hi, Richmond, Virginia. Hello, how are you? More from Ontario, Canada. Hello from Las Vegas. How are you, Roller Girl? Good to see you. Who else we got? Where are you watching from? Bakersfield. Hello, Bakersfield, California. Nice to see you. And where else we got? Okay, we got some questions already. They're coming. I see the why am I so clingy. I'll get into that in a minute. Hello, Louisiana. How's your weather like in the south? Warming up there? Lake Elsinore. Nice to see you. Oh, Burlington, Ontario. Nice. Orange County, California. And somebody asked me, from Indiana. Hello from Indiana. How are you? More about anxious attachment over there. I can tell by how much you're texting me that you do have a lot of anxiety around attachment, especially when you miss me every Wednesday. That's only a halfway joke. All right. Hello, Carp. You're from Carp. So's my family. Are you family? Maybe you are, and I don't recognize you. All right, so keep telling me where you're watching from and let's get right into it. Today, I want to talk specifically about how our relationships can impact our mental health and our physical health. People think when they hear that I'm a relationship expert, they think that the bulk of my information is about how to make a dating profile and what to say on a first date and how to find a mate. And while all that's important and it is part of the science of love, the real reason that I focus my practice and my media brand all around relationships is this. Nobody goes to a therapist's office because they say, I'd like to do a little self-improvement, or I'm feeling a little down. Maybe you could help me feel a bit happier. People go to see a therapist because they're having problems with their relationships. Let me tell you. If you are sitting home alone, having all kinds of mental health problems, they're not a dysfunction and they're not a problem until you're in relation to somebody else, right? So it is in our relationships when we, I call relationships a gymnasium for our minds, where our mental health becomes apparent. But also, I'm going to ask, hello, Hola from Mexico. I don't speak Spanish, but I will ask about subtitles because I'm not sure how to do that on the Instagram live. But, I do have a 17-year-old in the house, so maybe she could figure it out. Hi from Temecula. How are you? So what happens is, let's start from the beginning. In our early life, during the first 3 years of life, our brain forms a model for love, a kind of blueprint for love. And in our adult romantic lives, aloha from Hawaii, we go out and we find people that will match our familiar version of love. Now, love might have been filled with abuse, neglect, abandonment, joy, security, comfort. And we will go find mates who bring us that familiar feeling, even if from the outside it looks very unhealthy. And even if from the inside, it's very painful. This is called our attachment style. But research has shown that people who have an insecure attachment style, in other words, as babies and toddlers, they couldn't trust their caregivers. They learned to not trust the world. their bodies actually emit more stress hormones throughout their life. And as a result, they have poor physical health. So having an insecure attachment style isn't just about learning to say the right thing on dates to attract mates. It's about maintaining good health. We know that children who have trauma in early life or who just have insecure attachment tend to have higher cortisol levels, which can lead to high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease. And so as a result, our early life attachments, our familiarity, our blueprint for love actually impacts our physical health across the lifespan. Now, cut forward to our adult romantic lives. You may get attracted to somebody because they're hot or their resume looks good or on paper they look like a great mate, but actually they become a toxic relationship for you. In the same way, your stress hormones go up in that relationship and your health is impacted. And so our relationships can be very influential in our physical health and certainly in our mental health, right? So we know as health psychologists that health habits are highly contagious within social networks, within families, and specifically within intimate relationships. Think about it. Remember the time you had that mate that was a gym rat and ate super healthy? And you got really healthy when you were in that relationship because those health habits were highly contagious, okay? And in the same way, you had a relationship with a smoker and you started smoking, or somebody who drank, and so you were drinking alcohol way more than you would have. So all these health habits are highly contagious. But more than anything, how they treat you and how it impacts you emotionally can raise your stress hormones if it's negative, or calm you down and help you feel secure and joyful and loved. And all this impacts how long we live. The research is clear. Long-term committed relationships where people have a sense of security and love, these people live longer, they have better mental health, they have better physical health, and they also accumulate more wealth. And this is because it's cheaper to maintain one household than two. And this is why I focus on the science of relationships. Okay, now let's get to some of your questions. Morris said he got a new red shirt for his profile. Hope it works. Well, let me know, Morris, if you're getting more clicks because of it. So feel free to post your questions here on StreamYard, which airs on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I can post your comments. They should aggravate it over here, and I can post them on the screen. Here, up here on Instagram, I just have to read them. I know subtitles. I got to figure out how to do the subtitles. I'm sorry. Okay, I saw some questions go by and they went by so quick and I was talking that I forgot what they were. So if you post your question again on Instagram and I'll be able to read it. So Akshay always has good questions. Dating apathy. You want me to talk about dating apathy again? Okay, so let's talk about dating apathy. So dating apathy is something that happens when you get on dating apps way too much. Because here's the thing. All human beings suffer from something called the paradox of choice, which means this. The more choice you are given, whether it's a choice of menu items on a buffet or a choice of mates on a dating app, the more choice you're given, the less likely you are to make a choice. And when you do make a choice, the less likely you are to really value that choice because you'll always be thinking about the bigger, better deal. And so dating apathy is kind of a syndrome that happens when you just swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and can't make a decision. Other questions? Actually, that's actually a good question. I'm going to extrapolate from this. You have good questions. Is that why we are physically attracted to people that sometimes look like our childhood teachers and parents? Absolutely. You see, our sexuality, our arousal system happens from all kinds of experiences that happen in our formative years. And it might be a certain hair color, it might be a certain tone of voice, it might be a certain walk, it might be a certain laugh, but they aggregate together. Someone's asking me, do I make a healthy relationship last longer? That's a great question, because the answer is you invest in it. You invest in it sexually, you invest in it financially, you invest in it emotionally. We get out of our relationships what we put into our relationships. And think of a relationship as an exchange of care. Now, that care can take many, many forms, right? That care can be financial care. It can be child care. It can be domestic responsibility care. It can be intellectual stimulation care. It can be emotional care. It can be instrumental care when someone is sick. But continuing to care for that person is the investment that will give you the results. As a result of our current culture of extreme consent, even compliments, I don't know what else you're saying, but I think you're worried about in our current post-Me Too time, how to be sure that a compliment isn't construed as sexual harassment. Well, here's the answer. If you're in public, workplace especially, anywhere in public, and your first comment is on somebody's body, that's sexual harassment. If, on the other hand, you're out on a date and somebody is really turning you on by something they're saying or doing, by all means say, hey, I think it's so sexy the way you laugh. I think it's so sexy the way you think that out. You're so smart. All that's good. It's the focus on the body when you don't know somebody well. That's objectifying somebody, right? Somebody said, she said, that ain't love, that's anxiety, that's stress. Yes, butterflies in the stomach. Everybody gets mild butterflies in the stomach at the beginning of a dating relationship. But if you are getting it chronically and constantly in a large way, that's anxiety. And that probably is telling you that you have a little bit of an anxious attachment style, and maybe this person isn't even the one for you, right? How do I balance being manly, but I actually have an anxious attachment style? This is about learning to contain yourself, right? So forget about manly and gender. I mean, gender is something that's thought up by our culture, and I hate it when people say, I want to be like ladylike or manly. Forget all that. What you're really saying is, how do I show that I have self-confidence and self-esteem and not look needy when I feel needy inside? And that really is the question of somebody who suffers from an anxious attachment style, right? They need to learn to surround themselves with people that love them, friends and family in between while they're waiting for their date to reply to a text. And they have to learn to contain themselves and learn to self-console. What is my favorite book on relationships? Of course, the one that I most recently wrote, which is the 30-Day Love Detox. I also love the work of evolutionary psychologist, Dr. David Buss. I'm going to have him on my radio show soon. He has a great book called The Evolution of Desire that I really, really love because it's all told through a lens of evolutionary psychology. Here's another question from Morris. How do I change myself when I look at someone and think there's no way they would like me? I think you mean think there's no way they would like me. I feel sometimes they're out of my league. I know I'm a good person at heart, but I just need to push myself. Okay, this is really important. Everybody wants to date out of their league. And in fact, some of the data coming in from the dating apps says that about 25% of people actually are able to get a date with somebody outside of their league. And how do they indicate that they're outside of their league, which is really fascinating, is it's the people who are the higher status write fewer words in the messages because you would assume they're busy. They're being hit on by lots of people. Why do they have to write much? Why do they need to respond much? So there's a trick you can do on the apps, which is if you feel less than and you're trying to communicate with somebody who's quote unquote out of your league, then all you do is write less and take just a little longer to respond. So they're going, what are they doing? Maybe they're busy, right? Roller Girl says, I'm wondering why I don't see anyone else's comments but yours. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here over in StreamYard. I'm putting comments and I'm just seeing 3 people. So can somebody test it out? If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, so that Roller Girl, you're on YouTube, right? And Akshay, where are you? You're also on YouTube. Maybe I'm only seeing, no, but Morris is on Facebook. See, I get a little icon beside it. Anybody watching on Twitter or LinkedIn? If so, post a hello or something so I can see that the comments are streaming in. If I know any kind-hearted women aged 20 to 27, it's not my social demo right now. Yeah, well, you got to contain your fear if you're worried she's going to become disinterested. Okay, so just chill. It's going to be okay. If evolutionary mating says sperm chase egg, should men still traditionally pursue women? Well, here's the thing, women. Everybody gets upset when I say this because then I'm putting gender roles on things. I will tell you this, at the basic biological level, sperm chases egg, but all genders want a mate who they have to work for a little bit, that values themselves, that feels like a catch to them. So as a result, while women shouldn't be texting men incessantly or calling them up for dates, they can issue an invitation, right? There are ways to kind of like let them know you're a little bit interested. Women do subtle flirting. In public, back in the olden days, before the dating apps, we used to catch someone's eye. And then when they'd look at us, we'd look away really quickly, right? That was a classic female indicator that it was okay for him to try to pursue, right? Now today on the apps, what women need to learn to do is to just wait and also get rid of the men who aren't actively chasing you. Like literally, don't sit around there sending them a bunch of texts and hoping they'll get back to you. If they're not totally impassioned, totally engaged, and want to get on the phone with you and aren't trying, you've got to be strong and just wipe them away. Get rid of them. And you will eventually strike on the person that will be the one for you. Any more questions? You know, I started talking about our relationships and our health, and then it got all into attachment stuff again. So that's everybody's favorite topic. You know, attachment style has been studied in relation to so many things, literally academic achievement, divorce, domestic violence, of course, but also even how much money you make. People with secure attachment style tend to have fewer divorces. They tend to make more money. They tend to just be secure and have self-confidence, right? Okay. Akshay says, what's one piece of advice for an anxious attachment person other than going slow? Getting a therapist and sticking with it for a really long period of time. Because what happens is the therapeutic relationship becomes healing because it becomes the secure attachment. What are my thoughts on The Art of Seduction by Robert Greene? I have not read it. I don't know it, but thank you. I wish I had. Maybe I should. Any more questions? Or is that it for tonight? Is that it? It might be. Before you go, everybody say goodbye and tell me again where you're watching from. I know there's somebody from Mexico City who wishes I translated. That would be very nice. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm here every Wednesday. Have your questions ready. Somebody asked me, am I dating? No, I'm not dating. I have a boyfriend. I'm not dating. We're loving. How could you overcome your own dating biases, the belief that you don't think women don't want to be approached by you? You're just going to have to be brave. You're going to have to dive in and do it. Goodbyes from Irvine. Nice to see you, Elizabeth. Bye, Roller Girl in Vegas. Rosarito Beach. Bye-bye, Juan. Nice to see you. Montreal, Canada. Goodbye. Thank you. Good to see you. I will see you all next Wednesday at 6. Remember, you can always listen to my radio show on the iHeartRadio app, the Dr. Wendy Walsh Show, and my podcast is Mating Matters. In addition, you guys, if you're not on TikTok yet, I don't live stream on TikTok, but you need to go over there because there's something going on. I don't know why my videos are going viral, but we have one that's going to hit 3 million by tomorrow. It's weird. So anyway, feel free to come on over to TikTok and follow my channel there. Okay, I love you all. I'll see you next Wednesday. Same time, same place, right here. Thanks for being here. Bye. And that broadcast